Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. Renowned scholar Douglas Macgregor emphasizes the significance of unity in our nation, highlighting the frustration felt by many Americans regarding the lack of cohesion outside of military spending. He stresses the importance of finding common ground across party lines and advocates for a focus on shared traditional American values to restore unity and strengthen the Republic. Macgregor discusses various initiatives aiming to be action-oriented by establishing structures in every state and district to advance agenda items and ensure accountability among elected officials. He stresses the importance of American citizenship, urging citizens to take their duties seriously and emphasizing the need to value citizenship alongside its obligations. Macgregor presents an opportunity for individuals to have a tangible impact, addressing common concerns about individual influence on national issues. He outlines plans to provide fact-based information and welcomes collaboration with like-minded organizations. Macgregor suggests that the current situation is far more perilous than commonly understood, particularly highlighting the escalating tensions in Ukraine and the potential for a US-led NATO clash with Russia. This, he argues, poses a significant risk not only to the United States but also to Europe. Additionally, he points out the volatile situation in the Middle East, where heightened emotions among Israelis following acts of violence by Hamas could lead to further instability. Macgregor underscores the need for careful handling of the situation to prevent a broader regional conflict, noting pressure on Egypt and other Arab states to respond to humanitarian concerns in Gaza. He observes that the situation presents a challenge for the Israelis as they aim to isolate Gaza by cutting off water and electricity, hoping to weaken Hamas. However, he warns of the danger in this approach, especially if Egypt sends an aid convoy to Gaza and Israel threatens to respond with force. Such an escalation could trigger a broader regional conflict, with countries like Turkey potentially offering assistance to Egypt despite limited options for intervention. Macgregor suggests urging Israel to show restraint and acknowledges the risks involved in any military action in Gaza. He believes that the issue of election integrity deserves immediate attention, noting the historical struggles between Republicans and Democrats dating back to the 1960 election of President John F. Kennedy, which suggests may have been tainted by corruption. He emphasizes that the problem has only worsened over time, necessitating action. He explains that efforts are underway within certain groups to address this issue. Recognizing the constitutional authority of states to manage elections, he acknowledges the lack of federal standards for elections and suggests implementing measures such as voter ID requirements, which remain unresolved at the state level. There are instances where individuals, regardless of citizenship, can register to vote simply by obtaining a driver's license, which is deemed unacceptable. Measures such as matching government IDs with legal residencies are proposed to address this issue, alongside the suggestion to make Election Day a public holiday, emphasizing the importance of in-person voting and citizenship. He questions the ease of obtaining absentee ballots and advocates for a re-evaluation of absentee voting qualifications. Expressing concerns over the reliability of voting machines, he advocates for the use of paper ballots and emphasizes the need for bipartisan or neutral supervision at polling stations. He also calls for penalties, including mandatory jail time for electoral fraud. He underscores the significance of this issue and encourages bipartisan participation in addressing it, asserting that it is in everyone's best interest to do so. He believes that the events following 9/11 should have sparked greater interest in border security. He questions why the immediate response wasn't to secure the entire country, including airports, seaports, and coastal waters. He asserts the need for increased attention to the issue, particularly due to the significant number of individuals entering the country illegally, placing strain on states and local communities. He highlights the challenges faced by areas like New York City and Chicago, where resources are limited to accommodate these arrivals and provide employment opportunities. He suggests that Americans often only become interested in such matters when directly impacted. Such as experiencing rising crime rates or financial burdens due to illegal immigration, he advocates for viewing illegal border crossings as a form of criminal activity and notes the prevailing perception among Americans that crime rates will continue to rise. If that statement holds true, we're seeing a record high of 56% of Americans reporting higher crime levels in their communities compared to recent years. This should raise concerns among those paying attention. Addressing how to secure the area, I believe military intervention may be necessary, a stance OCOC likely supports. While our Border Patrol consists of dedicated individuals, they are facing overwhelming challenges. There's been a notable increase in suicides among Border Patrol agents, reflecting their frustration with the current administration restrictions on enforcement. Ultimately, deploying the Army to establish a secure southern border may become necessary. OCOC also notes the staggering death toll from fentanyl overdoses, emphasizing the urgency of addressing drug-related issues. Viewing this as a domestic war, we must consider the cartels as adversaries and prioritize border defense with military force. This approach aims to deter violence from drug cartels and criminals attempting to enter our country illegally, underscoring the need for a strong deterrent to halt these activities. Effectively, Mike, I want to emphasize the importance of your recent statement. It's true that politicians often talk a big game about these issues, but when it's time to take action through voting or proposing legislation, they often back away. This is typically due to pressure from major donors who may not prioritize border security. These powerful interests, essentially oligarchs, have significant financial stakes in maintaining the status quo of criminal activity. This poses a significant challenge. OCOC aims to identify and remove such representatives who do not align with the interests of the people, replacing them with individuals who truly represent us. Furthermore, it's crucial for Americans to recognize that it's not just a few government officials pushing a radical leftist agenda. Even corporations are now aligning themselves with these ideologies for profit. The influence of political agendas in institutions like teachers' unions has led to issues in public school education. Schools are being used as platforms for indoctrination rather than places of education. Urgent action is needed to address this significant issue. Parents must play a central role in shaping their children's values and behaviors. There are concerns about the early introduction of sex education, particularly in the 3rd grade, questioning the motives behind such decisions. There are challenges faced by parents who oppose these teachings, including intimidation from school boards and federal authorities. Action at both state and national levels through legislation is advocated to address these concerns. There is strong opposition to procedures allowing minors to make decisions about altering their sexual identity. Criminal prosecution of medical professionals involved is advocated. Waiting until the age of 18 for such decisions is considered reasonable to help individuals understand the permanence of such choices. The comparison of altering sexual identity to getting a tattoo that can be removed later is rejected. This issue is linked to broader concerns about human trafficking and pedophilia, which are prevalent globally. Distress is expressed over the large number of missing children, especially in Ukraine, emphasizing the urgent need for systematic action. Criticism is directed at certain individuals on the left, including former Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg, for advocating a reduction in the age of consent, which is deemed unacceptable. Why does taking action for societal issues matter? Why should we step forward and raise our voices against the injustices and challenges that we face today? The answers to these questions may seem obvious, but the reality is that many of us sit back, expecting someone else to do the heavy lifting. Today, we face a myriad of societal issues. Our world grapples with climate change, economic inequality, racial and gender discrimination, and political corruption, to name a few. These are not small, insignificant problems that will simply disappear over time. They require our attention, our effort, and our unyielding commitment to change. But where do we start? How can we as individuals make a difference? The answer lies in collective action. We must band together, unite our voices, and demand change from our representatives. Introducing Our Country Choice. This organization is a beacon of hope in the melee of societal issues, a platform that empowers individuals to take a stand and make a difference. Becoming a member of Our Country Choice is as simple as visiting their website and following the instructions. No cost involved, just a commitment to change. Once a member, you can explore different areas of interest. Whether it's climate change, economic inequality, or political corruption, you can find ways to contribute to the cause. You can support legislation combating these issues, oppose harmful agendas, and work towards a better tomorrow. But remember, The issues discussed today are not the only ones our country choice opposes. There are ongoing wars, concerns about the restoration of the rule of law, and the need for police to perform their duties without fear of retribution. Each one of these issues requires our attention and action. In summary, we live in a world fraught with challenges, but we also live in a world where change is possible. Our country choice provides a platform for individuals to take action, to raise their voice, and to support legislation combating societal issues. It's not just about making a difference, it's about creating a better future for ourselves and generations to come. So take that first step, visit the website, become a member, explore the areas that interest you, and find ways to contribute. Because the power to change the world lies in our hands. The time for action is now. This is our call to action. This is our country's choice.